part two of Watford's historic 1998-99 season, which ended with the most famous away day, arguably, in the club's history. And we pick up the story of the league campaign with an away day at Stockport in mid-November. The perfect start given to the quest for 3 points by Richard Johnson's right foot. Another splendid blockbuster from outside the area, past a despairing goalkeeper. But hopes that might have meant the passport to 3 points were to be dashed. Penalty for that challenge by goalkeeper Alec Chamberlain, said referee Graham Frankland, who was to be one of the most controversial figures in Watford's entire season. Alec Chamberlain couldn't get to it. 1-1, a point, and now back home, the visit of Crewe.
Smart for Hyde, now for Smart, he's done well here. No Williams, good goal. Well worked and well scored. 38 minutes gone, and at last the deadlock is broken. Rivers lost out. Johnson, lovely ball for Kennedy. First time back in for Noel Williams. Paisley, 2-0. And the bounce favoured him, but he was good enough to finish it. There's only one set of supporters that are singing. Palmer, Noel Williams, Kennedy. Knock forward for Noel Williams. The time he gets the ball, he's got the space. Kennedy's drilled it in low right. 3-0. It didn't work in the first opportunity, but my word, it's worked now. Rodney Jack, Jermaine Wright, Mark Rivers. Chance on the overlap here, drilled in towards the figure eventually of Rodney Jack, who scores for Crewe. Hyde, Paisley behind him. And Hyde goes himself, now he finds Paisley. That's nice, Paisley's cross, no Williams, number 4. As easy as you like. Jermaine Wright. And he's clear Colin Little here. And he's put it in too. Lovely through ball.
And so to South London, and a match against Crystal Palace managed by former England coach Terry Venables, and the perfect start for Watford. Nick Wright converting that header to put the Hornets into the lead. A real quality first half display, and a second goal to rub it in. The cross knocked on to Peter Kennedy at the far post, and the Hornets 2 up. Palace worked an opening to get one back before the break. For the second away game running, Watford haunted by a controversial penalty award. This time, the man who went down was Kirchich. He was the man who scored the equaliser. Watford prepared for back-to-back home games.
Played for Tinkler for Craig Hignett, and Hignett has played it well down the flank, but Robinson and Kennedy got an important tackle in on the flying Nicky Eden. Appleby, and he's lost it. Noel Williams here, and he's gone down, and now, what will the referee do here? I don't think he's any option. He's given a yellow card, and to my money, he's a lucky man. Tinkler. This is Barnard. Wright and but Paisley are there, and McClare's played it in. Rose has got the header, and Chamberlain's had to make the save. Driven back in by Barnard, Dion Burton, and it's gone right away across, and another good save by Chamberlain. Nick Wright, Richard Johnson, again it's close control, wasn't at its best, and now a chance for Mooney, good save by Bullock, after Barnsley served it up with all the trimmings. Happy scenes, Elton taking in his first match of the season, and Graham Taylor as well. And this time it will be Micah Hyde. Well, Williams got the knock on. This is Kennedy. Now Hyde needs to get the ball in the box or give Kennedy the space to do it. And Hyde did well with it as well. Nash didn't get it. Page and Wright coming in. Johnson deflected in. Johnson may well claim it. It took a deflection, but after 7 minutes, Watford lead by 1-0. And it was very well struck too. This is Noel Williams, back to Paisley, who's done well. What sort of a cross can he unload? Not one of his best. Johnson, Kennedy. Robinson's the express outside him, but he's opted to go himself. Right! Beautifully done. That is a really superb goal. Nick Wright, 2-0. And he has to put his shirt back on quick or he'll get booked. But that is a really excellent goal. And Watford lead 2-0. Flynn with a free kick for Stockport. Won by Paisley. Cooper. Moore. And Chamberlain had to make the save as well. Smart looks to find Noel Williams, and he's found him. Noel Williams, 3-0. And now there is no doubt. Pressure from Stockport. And then a really good save again by Chamberlain from Angel. And that is arguably the best of all of them. Hyde. Paisley. Got nicely down. There's the cross. And the header is a beauty. Absolute beauty from Noel Williams. It's 4-0. And it's a really excellent fourth goal. Great cross from Darren Paisley. And Noel Williams gets his second. Well, what Watford pointed to is why they didn't get 3 points that day. There's been no question today that Alec Chamberlain has done a Carlo Nash. But this is a back. Stockport get one right at the end through Sean Connolly. Moore. Can Stockport get another? They're 3-on-1, and Brett Angels made it 4-2. Well, well, well. They scored 2 right at the end.
Business as usual, off the pitch as well as on it for Watford.
You don't have to stand up there. At last.
As you know, now is this working or is it, do I lift this one? As you know, I've had a few little problems, which hopefully I'm overcoming, but I thought it was too far much of an opportunity with Elton now being here after a sort of very, very hard-working couple of years, really, which I'm sure he will tell you about. I thought it was far too good an opportunity to miss, not to try to invite the press to Vicarage Road. I mean, simply because of our football status, it's not too often that the national press really find it necessary to come here. I accept that, I think we do accept that, but it is our intention that one would hope more of the short term than we originally thought, but it is our intention, short term, medium term or long term, that eventually the national press will once again be coming to Vicarage Road on a regular basis. And we're very much aware that we can only do that if we achieve Premiership status.
Thank you very much. I'd like to second Graham on that. I haven't been around for too long. It's been a couple of the busiest years of my life professionally and some of the hardest and personally. So I haven't been here too much. I'm in constant contact with the club. And I was back for the Stockport game, which I enjoyed tremendously. But I just wanted to reiterate here today my involvement with the club and my passion for the club to succeed at all levels, on and off the pitch. So that's really all I have to say.
Now it's coming across now, but your passion for the game, everyone will remember the tears that you showed at the FA Cup final. The passion is still there?
Of course. I mean, ever since I became a director of this club in the early 70s, every game that we play, I'm on the phone, or I'm phoning my mother, I'm phoning the club if I'm not here. No matter what time distance there is, I'll get up and phone. Sometimes in Australia, you're on a Sunday morning, a very early Sunday morning when the game's being played here in the afternoon. So yes, it's never dimmed. I mean, the Watford result is the one I look for, and the one it's Saturdays are kind of like a dread day, because if you're away from it, I'd rather be here watching it than waiting for the teletext to finish. So we're one up or we're one down, and then suddenly we'll score, and I go crazy on the phone. Phone bill's been astronomical, but you can't. This is the club that I supported as a child. This is the club that had great success, and we took it from the fourth to the first. And this is, you can't take that out of your system. This is the club I love and support.
So the Saturday before Christmas, and a trip to Blundell Park, Grimsby, and one of the best goals scored against Watford all season by David Smith to give the home side the lead. The season before, Watford had won the match with a goal in the very first minute. They had to come from behind and equalised with an excellent move. A great pass by Johnson for Kennedy. Kennedy's ball in left by Smart for the arriving Noel Williams. The message to the fans: Happy Christmas, love Gifton. But that goal wasn't, in the end, enough for a point. Grimsby's breakaway, masterminded by Darrell Clare, started it, involved in the setup, the finish by Captain Groves. 3 points for Grimsby. Not the ideal pre-Christmas present for Graham Taylor's men. Noel Williams has had no change at all in this match so far out of the City defence. Now he might. Smart. Still Smart. Still Smart. Noel Williams. Good save by Phillips. And he gets there in the end off the deflection from Mickey Bell. Johnson. Johan Goodmanson. Bell's the challenger. Smart must be 1-0 Watford. And Alan Smart at last ends his personal goal drought. And a good sweeping move. Kennedy. Brennan across. Kennedy got inside. Noel Williams. Still Noel Williams. Good save by Phillips. And so to the year's finale. 1998 bowed out with a Tuesday night match at Norwich, and a Watford old boy returning to haunt his former teammates. Ewan Roberts putting Norwich in front. Watford's equaliser scored by Steve Palmer. An excellent right-footed effort, one that gave him particular pleasure. And the former Ipswich player was the player fouled by Marshall, which forced the referee to disallow Norwich's late goal. and a couple of vital goals, no more so than one I'm sure that gave an Ipswich old boy particular pleasure, that goal against Norwich at Christmas.
Yeah, certainly. You know, for me, any goals are, some sort of achievement. But to go up there and score at Norwich was great, and the context of it all was, made it a good goal.
Because it was important. It was an equalising goal, and it was, you'd stayed forward, hadn't you, after a set piece, if I remember?
That's correct. Yeah, the ball had come over and then gone out and then came back in again, and I was fortunate enough to be in the right place to score.
Iroa. Not a bad run at all. Iroa still, and it's gone, has it? It's there. Surely Johnson gets the touch. What a start by Watford. Spurs will look to come straight back, and Everson makes it 1-1. Pressure really on the Watford defence, and that's a penalty. Anderton makes it 2-1. Everson, 3-1 Tottenham. Now for Baisley. Kennedy, 3-2. It's raining goals as well as hailstones at White Hart Lane. Oh, and that's a gift. Nielsen, 4-2. Ginola. And he's got round the far post. Fox must be. It's 5. Johnson has a chance, and Pedersen has to get his knees dirty. Right near post, Smart, Noel Williams and Nero all ready to run. Came right away across, and it's still not away. Pedersen still hasn't got it. But finally, at the second attempt, the referee's given the free kick to Portsmouth. Daly has gone outside him. And immediately the crowd are excited, and Pedersen hasn't got it. And it was drilled in by Johnson and cleared away. And so to Molineux, a return to a former club for manager Graham Taylor, and a battling Hornets performance. Peter Kennedy forcing an excellent save from the Wolves keeper, as Watford enjoyed some very good pressure. Clint Easton involved in this attack, sending the ball in. Noel Williams unable to get on the end of it, and eventually Wolves winning a free kick. They took it too quickly. Micah Hyde and then Nick Wright going close with efforts. Smart. Johnson on the charge against Sneakers, who lost the ball. Now for Daly. Let's fly! De Freitas twists and turns. Hyde didn't block. Hughes, 1-0. It's there from Sneaks. And Richard Sneaks, the Dutchman, puts West Brom into the lead after it didn't get cleared by the Watford defence when they had the chance. Iroa. Daly jumped. Chamberlain will have to hit this long, and he knows it. Iroa had his back to the ball. Quinn. Hughes unmarked in the middle. Arriving to the substitute Angel, who can pick his spot. Angel, 2-0 West Brom. And now there is no doubt. Darren Baisley. And certainly Watford not overawed by the task. Daly. Michael Gray's not having an easy time of it. There's the cross, right! So beautifully done. The quality of the cross was right, the finish was right. It's 1-0 Watford. Daly the supplier. Sunderland desperate to try and find their way back into this before the break. Phillips. Still Phillips. Now will it bounce for Quinn? 1-1. The leaders back on level terms. Noel Williams. Yes! What a goal! The one pirouette movement from Iroa's throw, and the youngster has put Watford back in front with a goal of real quality. The highest throw probably of the season from Iroa, and look at that. Butler is marker, and what the Butler saw was bad news for Sunderland. In January came what I'm sure will be regarded as one of the highlights of the season, that victory against Sunderland, and a very special afternoon for Enright.
Yeah, it was a really good performance by the team in general. I think it gave the whole club a lift. The crowd and even the Watford supporters, if they were honest, would say that they didn't expect anything from the game. But I think we approached it with the intention of beating Sunderland and went out there and did that.
A week before you'd lost to West Brom, I mean, that made it in any ways. People thought that would have made it that much harder.
Yeah, West Brom seemed to be our bogey team. We got beat heavily on the TV, and they came and beat us at Vicarage Road as well, which was disappointing. So we did well to bounce back, because it wasn't the game you really wanted to follow a defeat, because it's not good to get on a run of defeat. So it was important we got back onto winning ways after that game, and we did that.
For Alec Chamberlain, a personal highlight must have been the victory against Sunderland.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, it was always going to be a big game, both up there and back at Vicarage Road, and thankfully, you know, it went well. I mean, we owed them one in a little bit after playing reasonably well in the first game, but second game, I think they'd had a difficult week. They'd had two really important cup matches, and possibly we caught them at the right time, a little bit fatigued, and you know, we really went at them, you know, and I thought we deserved that victory on the day.
That victory meant Watford were in 5th place when they travelled to Valley Parade, Bradford. The Bantams had been the surprise packet of the league up to that point, and they stamped their class on this. Stuart McCall scoring the first, and in the second half, more woe for the Watford defence, torn asunder, and Lee Mills wrapped it up. 2-0 to Bradford. Not a good day at the office. Down to 6th place, and another Yorkshire team to take on. This time, Huddersfield Town. By this stage, Watford knew they were likely to be without Gift and Noel Williams for the rest of the season, and the question was, where would the goals come from? Step forward, Mr. T. Mooney, wearing number 9, the darling of the Vicarage Road end, and at his favourite end, opening the scoring against Huddersfield with that header. But Watford couldn't find the killer second goal. Huddersfield were starting to work more and more openings, and from one of them, Marcus Stewart involved, the ball played across, and Chris Beach made it 1-1. Five days later, the local derby against Queen's Park Rangers at a capacity Loftus Road. And a goal to treasure from Nick Wright. As sweet a volley as you could want to see. First time, goalkeeper no chance, 1-0. But Queen's Park Rangers got back on level terms, with the referee awarding a penalty to the disbelief of the Watford supporters and the defenders. Peacock took, Chamberlain could only parry. Peacock was the first to respond. But the stage was set for one young man to carve a real niche in his Watford career, and indeed in the course of the season. Tommy Smith honours a sub, first touch, what turned out to be the winning goal. And for the youngster, an unforgettable day. Whatever the future career of one Tommy Smith, that afternoon against Queen's Park Rangers in February will always be special, won't it?
Oh, definitely, without a doubt. I think I'll never forget that day for the rest of my life. Being, you know, my first senior goal, and just the importance of it all, and the time during the season, and everything just all came together. I'll never forget it.
What did the boss say to you when you were about to come on? Much?
Not really. He just said, you know, said to change the formation, just play the two up front, because we were playing the three up front at the time. And I can't remember his exact words, but, you know, whenever I've been coming on, he's just said, go out and enjoy it. So, you know, it takes the pressure off you a little bit. So I just thought I'd go on and, you know, just try and work my hardest.
And you scored some important goals away from home as well. But particularly bearing in mind what was in the context of it, I should think that the Queen's Park Rangers goal gave you a lot of pleasure.
Yeah, the QPR goal is obviously my favourite for the season. Alec played a great assist in the goal. He has tried to do that on a few occasions this season, but he drop kicked it, and the defender was never going to get it. Just flicked it on into my path, and I actually thought maybe at the time I'd taken too much time waiting for the ball to drop, but hit it sweetly over the keeper and into the corner of the net.
And so to the visit of Swindon Town to Vicarage Road. The Hornets knew they had 3 aways to follow this match, so it was important to get something out of it, or so they thought. But Swindon Town came, saw and conquered. Bobby Howe scoring what turned out to be the game's only goal. Much was made again of Watford's hoodoo of not being successful in front of the live television cameras. But in the second half in particular, they had enough opportunities to get something from the match. Reliant, though, again on Alec Chamberlain making good saves. Swindon's defence, too, looked somewhat shaky. Tony Daly going close with that effort. They pushed more and more men forward. They won't come closer, surely, than that throughout the entire game. Nick Wright hitting the woodwork. And so it was to prove. And another wet night greeted them on their travels at Portman Road, Ipswich, against arguably the favourites to follow Sunderland for automatic promotion. And when Kieran Dyer put Ipswich 1 up, Watford looked to be in trouble. They then conceded one of those unstoppables, a Mark Venus free kick. Chamberlain's look said it all. Into the second half, one-way traffic again. Another good move by Ipswich, and this time David Johnson. Ipswich old boy Steve Palmer followed it into the net. The points looked certain to stay at Portman Road. Whether Ipswich took their foot off the throttle or whether Watford raised their game is another matter. Tommy Smith started the fight back with a splendid individual goal. Another glimpse of the youngster's precocious talent. And as the monsoons threatened to wash everyone away, Tommy Mooney, another substitute, made it 3-2. That's how it ended. Again, Mooney took his chance. But the chances were few and far between for Watford just 5 days later at Sheffield United. A strange game, a convincing win as it turned out for the home side. Watford were missing Robert Page. The first goal was deflected in, credited to Devlin. And after the Hornets had made a better start, United turned out to run the show. The second, scored by the ever-dangerous Morris. Into the second half. No comeback this time for Watford. The third goal, Hamilton from 12 yards. On a near saturated pitch, United had the points. Oxford were battling for very survival on and off the pitch when Watford visited. The Hornets took a large number of supporters down the M40 to the Manor Ground. Tommy Smith on the charge, went close with that effort. But this was an afternoon, as Tommy Mooney put one wide, where questions were asked about where the goals were going to come from. It finished 0-0, as did this against Bury, which probably is best forgotten as one of those days. Graham Taylor wasn't impressed, neither were the supporters. Watford went close, but had fired blanks for the second match running in goalless stalemates. February and March, perhaps we can move on through quite quickly, except just to dwell on one, if I may. Great win at Queen's Park Rangers, when a young man by the name of Tommy Smith had the sort of debut that every professional footballer dreams of.
Well, what had happened a little bit, we knew how QPR were playing. We altered our formation a little bit and played with 3 midfield players and 2 wide forwards and 1 centre forward. And quite honestly, the fellas handled it very well, and I thought we beat QPR more comfortably than that 2-1 suggests. We had that rather dubious, more than dubious, penalty given against us on the stroke of half-time. But Tommy then came on, and we reverted back to a 4-4-2 when Tommy came on and got the goal. For the last 20 minutes, we played a 4-4-2 formation, and he did ever so well. And it looked then, you know, we'd had this win. There weren't a lot of wins about, but it looked fine, and we were coming back then to Swindon at home. I changed from playing the same formation that we had played against QPR, and I left Alan Hazan out and brought Tommy. We played a 4-4-2 within 10 minutes of the game against Swindon, because they were playing the same formation as QPR had done, but within 10 minutes of the game, I knew I'd got it wrong. And unfortunately, I tried to put it right in the first half, and that meant that Tommy, making his home debut, had to push out onto that right-hand side, and that he didn't really understand that role, and we lost that game 1-0. Although, to be fair, in the second half, we had so many chances. Nicky Wright took it round the keeper once and just didn't quite get enough on it to put it over. It was cleared off the line. But I didn't think I got that one right. You know what I mean? I thought I should have stayed with how I'd originally felt. I mean, it's easy to say, because if you come up and won, everybody said, oh, that's good. But I got that one wrong, and it was a 1-0 defeat at home, and it unsettled things, because we didn't have a very good run. I think we had about 5 games then without a win, culminating in the Bury, the 0-0 draw, which was a drab game. You know.
Watford started April in 8th place.
Hyde. And the header from Robinson finds Kelly, and this time there is no mistake. Well, having escaped just a couple of minutes earlier. Mooney needs to get the cross in, does get the cross in. Kennedy! 1-1. Just what the doctor ordered. The long goal drought is over. Brook by Bono. Now Gongi. Now Johnson. Has he overrun it? Yes, he has. But Johnson for a second yellow card, is sent off. And just over. And he's given it as yes, he's given the penalty. Kennedy against Achterberg. He saved it, and Ngongi scores with the follow-up. The keeper is absolutely mad. Now we've got all sorts of fun and games.
That goal against Tranmere, Peter. You 0-0 the previous two, and people had wondered where the goals were going to come from. First hour against Tranmere had been the same story. I can't ever recall you hitting one with such venom.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Tommy done well out in the left, and he switched it across, and you know, in situations you haven't got time to think, you just hit it, and I mean, it could easily have ended up in Watford general, you know, but just lucky for me, it went in the back of the net, and obviously missing the penalty, you know, these things happen, but lucky for us, Michelle was following up and put it in the back of the net.
Daly. Graham Taylor warned him about the reception he was likely to get. That's not a bad cross. Mooney! And the Hornets have the lead. And they didn't pick him up at all. Kennedy. Mooney's gone wide. Daly's in the middle if he can find him. Daly! 2-0! And is he happy? Lovely cross from Mooney. I've never seen him jump so high, Tony Daly. Birmingham. Page has got it away. Holdsworth! They've got one back. Little more than 3 minutes remain. And Birmingham have one back. Having won at Birmingham on Monday, it's so important. Smart goes down, and the referee says that that is a penalty. Mooney. And the keeper saved it. Banks did well. It's a very positive start by Watford. This is Hyde. Oh, what about that? Micah Hyde. Did he enjoy that? Splendid goal. Bolton really want to pause for breath if they can. It's another free kick. Now Wright. Still Wright. Good save by Banks. Mooney's jump. Johnson. Paisley available. Mooney! 3-3 for Tommy Mooney. And surely 3 points again for Watford. A splendid second goal. The quality on the cross, the quality of the header. 2-0. And go and win there. They're a very passionate support, and you'd weathered that, and you got yourself a very good goal that afternoon.
I was pleased. Tony Daly done ever so well. He got a bit of stick off the Birmingham fans, which he took a bit of ribbing for on the training ground before the game. But he done ever so well to get the crossing. Great ball, and I just had to get my head on it. Fortunately, it's gone in. And then, like I say, we've got the second one. I've gone down the left-hand side and reversed the roles, if you like, for Tony to get a header, which he doesn't often get. But we've got 3 points.
You, again, on the score sheet with a goal, and I know of all the goals you scored in April, this one was particularly special.
It meant a lot because of the size of the game. And it was the second goal, and it killed them off. That really killed them off. They had a chance to stay in the game, and the second goal killed them off, and I was pleased to get it because I think it was a reasonable header. And after missing the penalty in the game so early on, I wasn't downhearted. I knew I was going to get another chance, and that was it.
Mooney's chances will be becoming part of Watford folklore. On another wet afternoon at Crewe, with Watford missing both suspended Richard Johnson and Alan Smart and giving a first start to number 10 Alex Bono, they took on a Crewe side in desperate relegation trouble. And guess who scored the only goal? Tommy Mooney again. Low left-footed effort. One strike was enough for 3 points. This will be Hyde again. All the big men are in the box waiting for it. Target was Page, this is Kennedy, and now Hyde again, and they've all stayed forward here. Hyde's cross, and it's gone right the way in, and has Ian Back got it in himself? I think he may well have done. Went through a crowd of legs, but Micah Hyde will claim it, and Watford lead 1-0. So Hyde strikes. Let's see from this angle. Well, it may have been deflected by Sunji Hai. Kennedy again. And Mooney! Ngongi was the decoy. And Mooney was the scorer. And this amazing run of Tommy Mooney looks no sign of stopping. From the set piece. Now look at Ngongi. He was the decoy. Mooney came in behind him. Morrison. McKenzie. Good save by Chamberlain. Needed to be. Carlisle will leave for Dean Austin. And again. McKenzie this time. Fan Ji-yi was the man who provided.
How much of April was down to confidence?
Yeah, I think a lot of it. Yeah, you know, the boys, like you said, we've been extremely confident this season, especially in the month of April, like you say. And we've gone out every game, not afraid of anybody. Give them the respect that they deserve, obviously, but don't be afraid of them to the point where, you know, you're giving them too much respect, you're standing off them. You've got to go on and think, well, we've beaten the best in this division, and we're capable of playing in this division and playing well.
3 games left. Watford travelled to Port Vale for a rearranged game, knowing that victory would put them into the playoff places. The perfect start. Paul Robinson teaming up well with Tommy Mooney. Port Vale got back on level terms from the penalty spot. Off-the-ball incident involving Steve Palmer was the catalyst. Referee George Kane in the middle of it all, and eventually trying to restore some calm. Kane went to speak to his assistant about that challenge by Steve Palmer. The consultation was long. The card shown to Steve Palmer was yellow. And it was Tommy Widdrington who tied it at 1-1. Both sides were desperate for the points for very different reasons. Watford looking for their 6th consecutive victory. And it was the Hornets who got what turned out to be the winner, as Ngongi fed Mooney. The first effort was blocked, and Mooney was the first to react. 6 goals in April for Mooney, 6 wins in April for Watford. last league away day. To Oakwell and a match against Barnsley. Victory would make certain of a place in the end-of-season playoffs. And Michel Ngongi got the first goal. This a reward for his best spell in a Watford shirt. Good work by Nick Wright. And with the keeper on the floor, Ngongi responded. But Barnsley played some very good football and provided a real challenge. The equaliser, scored by Nicky Eden, is probably not one that Alec Chamberlain will remember with any great pleasure. But at this stage of the season, a Watford match wouldn't be complete without this. A Tommy Mooney goal. Questions about Ngongi's challenge on the keeper. Mooney was the last one to be concerned about that. 1984 Cup final was how one Watford supporter summed it up. But just as the fans thought it was mission accomplished, Barnsley, right at the death, got an equaliser from Tinkler. It wasn't quite all over.
You've had to make a lot of changes in personnel per force because Gifton Williams hasn't played since January. That has often been the undoing of many a side. Is that the lovely bonus that you'll look back on this season and think we've had to play, what, 26, 27 players and still achieve what we have?
Well, we've got a strong squad here at Watford. You know, it's a strong, experienced squad. We've got quite a number of professionals, and that's been reflected in the reserve performances and results for most of the season. The reserves are right up there near the top of the league, and we fielded very strong reserve sides. If we have a practice match here at Watford, it's a competitive one. You know, it's a good one. First team v reserves isn't too far away. So, you know, we've got a strong squad, and as you say, it's been very well utilised this season.
And so to the big finale. More than 20,000 packed Vicarage Road for the visit of Grimsby. The playoff equation was quite simple. Win it, and you're in it.
There are some days when doing this job gives you the best view in the house, and from high up in the stands you feel that this is no ordinary football occasion. The folk of Watford in their thousands trying to give the team its final push for the playoffs, and Grimsby must feel a little bit like unwelcome visitors at a party.
This year's Watford Observer Player of the Season, Steve Palmer.
And the triumph of one of the most popular men at Vicarage Road. And just see how his teammates salute him. They know what it means to the big centre-half, who has produced a magnificent season.
Leading by example in the engine room in the middle of the field. Gallimore. Page. Hyde. First to react. Still Hyde. Still Hyde. Scored in the last two home games as the Watford number 8. Quite prepared to take the responsibility. Johnson. Still Johnson. Still Johnson. Hyde. Chance for Baisley now. Again, they're queuing up in the box. Wright got the knock on. Kennedy! That's it! The one they wanted! And the Ulsterman
gives Watford the lead, and Vicarage Road explodes in a volume of noise. The quality cross, and Peter Kennedy connected superbly with it. And this season going to end in a horrific sense of anticlimax. And Palmer is penalised for the challenge, and he's not too pleased about the decision either. For the foul on Leicester. I'm saying about Kennedy's goal. Turned the match against Tranmere. Watford have been on fire ever since. They lead 1-0, but now they've got to defend this free kick. Kingsley Black takes. And a great stop by Chamberlain from Peter Handyside's header. So within 30 seconds of taking the lead, there's drama at the other end. Kingsley Black lets fly. Chamberlain makes another super stop. And they were old teammates at Luton together. Page. Mooney. And the miss by Handyside for Ngongi. Kennedy. There's the cross. Right. Got the header. Lovely dipping cross from Kennedy. And I guess that Steve Crowston was at such relief where it ended up. Crowston is lining up the wall. Johnson's gone for it. And wasn't far away either. And the free kick is Grimsby's. They've got to hold their discipline, hold their concentration. The referee is right by the tunnel. I wonder if that's significant. It is significant. Watford have won the match by a goal to nil. And without waiting for news from elsewhere, Graham Taylor's men are in the playoffs. They've done it by a goal to nil. Peter Kennedy, Watford number 3, is the man whose goal has been decisive on the afternoon. And now the celebrations can begin in earnest. But for now, the key thing is that Watford have given themselves a chance, and the Premiership dream lives on. Credit to Grimsby. And that means it's celebration time for the Hornets faithful.
They say that if he ever wrote a book called The Month of April, Tommy Mooney would be a bestseller. As a striker, you must know what he's been through, but they must have given you particular pleasure watching some of those goals.
No, it's wonderful. I mean, at any time when you're going on a run or you're looking to achieve anything, you need one of your strikers, I think, to be regularly hitting the back of the net, and Tom has responded brilliantly to it. I mean, he's scored in every game since, you know, which is like incredible, and he looks like he's going to score every game he goes out, so that's a big positive, I think, for all the players, because they're of the belief even if we go a goal down, we're going to get one back and likely to get two and win the game. So the confidence is very high and the morale's high, so you don't have a problem.
And that man Mooney, an appreciation. I mean, you two are two of the longest serving pros at this club, but I know you were aware of what he means to the people of Watford.
Yeah, that's right. I think everybody knows Tommy's 100% wholehearted player, and I think that's what the supporters demand, and that's what they've got the respect for Tommy. And you know, he says it himself. He plays the game like a supporter because he's got that enthusiasm, and that rubs off on other players. And you know, he deserves the successes he's had, and you know, hopefully he will have many more goals to come from him.
Tommy Mooney, the fans' favourite and the defenders' nightmare. Time for Mooney to take stock.
Just a few anxious moments along the way.
Yeah, I think we came out today and we didn't play as well as we have done. But like you say, job done for today anyway. We're very, very pleased that we're in the playoffs. Probably upset a few people along the way, but we've got the hardest job to come yet.
And sum up briefly, what are you going to need from here to get in the Premiership?
Just the same commitment and enthusiasm and effort that what we've had all season, really. You can't fault the lads on the enthusiasm and the effort, and we've just got to keep it going, and you know, it will come.
What a Sunday lunchtime menu. By close of business on Thursday, one of these teams will be booking a Wembley hotel, the other will be booking a heartbreak hotel. And Watford know the importance of making home advantage count. Clive Wilkes is the referee. This is an early touch for Darren Baisley for Watford. Shalgongi's first touch. Hyde. Gongi. And the chance almost fell. And in the end, coming in was Robinson. But it's a good, positive start by Watford. Kennedy's corner, Page and Palmer wait. And Gongi! Oh, so simple. And the Birmingham defenders look at each other and paraphrase the old song, where has all the marking gone? Unmarked header. Rowett in despair, and Gongi 1-0 Watford. Paisley. Johnson. Almost ran to Kennedy! And he was in the right place. Page. Robinson couldn't keep it in. And the referee says he delayed, and he will be yellow carded. Done by Johnson again. And really a revelation in recent games. His father's over from Australia. He's desperate to see him do well. And the top of the bar by Nick Wright. Well, they've had their chances of Watford. And the defenders going backwards. It was David Holdsworth who got the header. And Wright grazed the top of the bar. Mooney for Ngongi, and away by Holdsworth, with Kevin Poole in all sorts of trouble. And the Watford old boy. Paisley. There's the cross, Mooney again. It just won't run for the second. Look at that by Mooney, against the woodwork. Rowett. Chamberlain didn't get. Oh, what a chance! And they've gone. It's gone wide. And Adebola and Furlong looked 50-1 on to put this away. It was Adebola, and Chamberlain got one hand on it. What a stop! And that's Robinson on and Love, and this could be trouble. Referee wants words, and there's only one result. Robinson walks. Yellow plus yellow equals early bath. Here it is again. He's already been booked for kicking the ball away, for delaying the throw-in rather. And this time there is no second chance. Kennedy again. Been a better performance by Birmingham in the second half, but Watford take the advantage to St Andrews on Thursday. Michel Ngongi's early goal, the only one of the game. But what a cauldron is in prospect.
First corner of the game, which Martin Granger will take here for Birmingham. Picked out by Unlove. This is McCarthy. The header forward is by Hughes. Unlove looking to get on the end of it, and he got attached to it, and it's come back off the post, and it's been turned in. Concede a goal in 2 minutes. I just wonder if this is Palmer who puts it through his own net. This is unbelievable. Adibolo always misses it. Palmer comes in. What? No route through. Bradbury's saying to him, hey. Well, it is penalties. And Trevor Francis and Graham Taylor have got more agonies to endure, but it's a great credit to Birmingham's resilience that they've got this far. Reduced to 10 men in the second half by the sending off of David Holdsworth. Well, Watford starting strongly with Peter Kennedy, who has scored a couple of penalties for them in matches already this season. 2 of his 7 goals from the spot. And it's in just. He saved it! Look says it all, doesn't it? It's a slow, casual run-up. Just tries to side-foot it. And Chamberlain's brilliant. He's been brilliant all night. Guesses the right way. And unlike Poole, his hand is strong enough. Great save. The goalkeeper, who's been a hero all night, has given them a breakthrough. And Kevin Poole, who almost got to Peter Kennedy's first kick, now faces Steve Palmer. Oh, it's wide! Just goes for power here. Steve Palmer goes to blast the back of the ball, and unbelievably St Andrews erupts, drags it wide of Poole's right hand post. Oh, heartbreaking for Steve Palmer. Can get themselves back on a level footing here. Martin Granger, one of his 4 goals this season was a penalty, and he gets this one in. A moment for the Watford midfielder to keep his cool. And it's in off the underside of the bar. Chamberlain having made 1 save in the shootout already. No stopping that one. Little punch in the air from Gary Rowett. Darren Baisley to try and put Watford's noses in front. Scores. So what? Little smile. It's a big, big moment this for Lee Bradbury. And he scores. Mission etched on his face. But he scores. Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That was a pressure kick, no doubt. Drives it right in the middle. If Poole stays there, he's got a chance. And Trevor Francis knows it, but has entrusted Hughes with this vital, vital kick. And he keeps his cool magnificently. Fantastic. It's Robert Page. And it's in.
Tell you what, I think this is just took a little bit of paint off the underside of the bar as well. Oh, just for a minute it was rising. That probably just clips the underside of the bar, right-footed. Oh!
A massive burden weighing on his shoulders now.
Oh, this is getting unbearable.
Forward comes Alan Smart to take the next kick. He endured the agonies of being substituted at Wembley through injury for Carlisle in the Auto Windscreen Shield final. He could take Watford a step closer if he scores, and he does. Can Poole keep Birmingham in the hunt? Yes, he can!
What a strike this is!
It's Alon Hazan. And he scores. Oh no, it's saved! disappointment falls on Holland, and it's Watford who are going to Wembley to play Bolton in the First Division playoff final. You feel for Chris Holland, you really do, the youngster.
I can't believe it. It's not a good penalty, is it? The pressure's got to him, that's the problem. The pressure's got to him. But Chamberlain's been fantastic all throughout the night. He guesses the right way, and he gets his body behind it. It's heartbreaking for Birmingham, for Trevor and all the fans here, and for Chrissy Holland. Heartbreaking. It's a dreadful way to lose a match in such an important match. Incredible. Watford, though, you have to say, fantastic. What a season it's been.
And so to Wembley. Could the dream become reality? And there will be fireworks as the two teams reach the top of the tunnel. And a big smile on Graham Taylor's face. He did this once before in '84, led his club out. Now, can he lead them to the promised land? It was in this stadium they hatched the famous song about football's coming home. Many will say that Graham Taylor came home when he returned to Watford. And can he crown what really would be a wonderful story? Paul Robinson, Nick Wright. Man in charge is, for this pair of eyes, the best on the Football League list, Terry Harbron from Newton Aycliffe. An early touch for Micah Hyde for Darren Baisley. Andy Todd made the clearance. That's nicely worked. Taylor could stop Chamberlain. And that'll do him good to get a good, firm, early touch. Taylor eluding Page with his pace. Elliott. For Johnson. This is Johansson. And another real scare as Johansson came steaming in. Kennedy. And Ngongi almost causing panic. And eventually Bolton clear it. And it was Gardner's ball. Still good Johnson. And he's put it wide. Oh dear, oh dear. But Johnson again, good save Chamberlain. Well, it's almost like a personal duel out there. And from the free kick, deflected off the wall, Tucker Johnson. Chamberlain equal to the challenge. Robinson for Watford. And Ngongi jumping. This is Richard Johnson. Baisley on the overlap. Gardner tries to close him down. Oh, he's superbly past them both. And in the end, all he's got for his effort is a corner off Mark Fish. Kennedy again. Right! Yes! What a way to open the scoring in a Wembley final. And the young man who was playing for Carlisle 12 months ago could well have booked his passport to the top flight. Kennedy's corner, and the Bolton defence had been living on their nerves, but they hadn't budgeted for that. Look at that from this angle. A perfect goal, and what a time to get it as well. Watford lead by 1-0, and Bolton can't believe it. The supporters show what they feel. I bet he'll never score another one like that. He doesn't normally show his emotions. Chamberlain's made the save. The referee wanted it taken again. Just a question now of how much more Terry Heilbronn will allow. There's the answer, very little. Graham Taylor will be well pleased with what he's seen. So it's Bolton who will start the second half. One down. And Watford will know the importance of these opening few minutes. It's Richard Johnson's clearance. Bolton, of course, beaten twice by Watford in the league this season. Page away. I just wonder whether that sort of thing sticks in the mind. Now Gardner. Good Johnson in the middle. Good block by Palmer. Elliott. Good Johnson again. And Taylor was in on Alec Chamberlain. And that's nice to see. Yes, he knew he was late. And Todd needs to change thinking. Mooney. Johnson came charging in, and Gongi. They're beginning to find the space. Hyde. Can they deliver quality? Hyde. Again they're giving Mooney. I think he'll get freedom of the borough if he scores one here. All his family are down from the north. I was talking to them before the start. They were saying what this means to them. He's had a day he won't forget. And now can the Scotsman, who turned up at a sponsors' evening earlier this season in a kilt, deliver. Gardner, good block. Needed to be by Johnson, and was. And now suddenly the break could be on. Bolton have committed more and more. Nick Wright. This is Kennedy. And once more Bolton come charging forward. It's good Johnson again against Chamberlain. Page is on top of it. Would have cleared if he needed to. So Nick Wright, after a day he won't forget, is replaced by Hazan. Hyde. Now Kennedy. Smart is in miles of space. Smart! Yes! Destination Premiership. Surely now. Just look at that. You wouldn't have thought that that young man's had a goal drought. Well, I know that his wife's just told him that he's about to become a father in the next few months. But Alan Smart has followed his former Carlisle teammate Nick Wright in surely delivering the most vital goal of his life, and he took it like a veteran. 4 minutes left. 2-0 Watford. We just want it to end. But Bolton was sure as anything. That's Branson's effort. Throw the kitchen sink. The job is done. You could not write a story like this one. Watford will play Premiership football. And maybe it'll take time to sink in. His goal would have graced any competition. And maybe the first look by Graham Taylor to his family in the director's box told us all what it means after all that has happened. Well, they could have danced all night, I would have thought. It's 39 steps to the royal box, but not even Buchan at his best could have written a story like this one. For Robert Page of Watford and Wales, the proudest moment of his life. It means one thing. It's the Premiership for Elton John's tailor-made army. And I'll tell you something else. The smiles have it. Paul Robinson, Nick Wright, Micah Hyde, and behind him, one very, very special moment. What a contrast from 15 years previous and the disappointments. And 24 hours later, after a night of Nessun Dorma for some, it was time for the town to turn out to celebrate. "12 months earlier, there had been thousands to see the second division championship trophy. This time they were reinforced.
Did anybody get any sleep last night? I don't think so. I was one of the first to leave and I was in the early hours, so it was a great day, a great party, and then we're having another great day out here with the fans. It's brilliant. Did you really believe 12 months ago that this would be possible?
No, of course not. You know, it's a tough division, but we proved everyone wrong. We've got a great team spirit, some great players, and fantastic achievement for the club, and everyone's very proud at the moment.
And you must know more than anybody else what it means to that man over there.
Absolutely. I mean, his record speaks for itself, and I'm so pleased that he's back in the Premiership where he should be. So, great for Graham Taylor, great for the club, great for the supporters.
The sight of their heroes made the year for many of those ecstatic fans, even though a number of players had jetted off on international duty. was a Watford night for Watford people and Watford's finest heroes.
Some homecoming.
Yeah, it's brilliant. We tasted it last year, and I'm sure when we get to the main part of the town, there'll be even more people. It's superb. I don't think it's sunk in that we're in the Premiership yet. Maybe that'll happen when we come back and we'll start working again in pre-season. But we're enjoying yesterday's success, and we know what we've done.
But for everybody, you know, they went in their thousands yesterday and now they've come out again. That yellow and red, the town has been painted in the last 48 hours. Says a lot, doesn't it?
Oh, it certainly does. Our support over the last season and especially over the last 2-3 months have been fantastic, and you know, we can share it with everyone this evening.
Season, Alex. What a way to end it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, for me it was unexpected because I arrived here only 8 months, and finally I came here. We got to Premiership. I lived so emotional moments. We don't have that in France, so yeah, it's a big moment for me.
Has it sunk in?
No, I don't think it'll sink in for a long time yet.
Is it going to be the fixture list before you finally accept the enormity of what you've done?
I think you're probably right there. Once we get that fixture list out, oh, it's tremendous. It's great for the town.
And you wake up in your sleep, do you? Kennedy's Cross.
Sleep? What's sleep? I ain't had any sleep. Aggie!
Two triumphant heroes and one triumphant mastermind.
So Graham, we had the week's break after victory against Grimsby to come into the Birmingham game. Had the thinking changed at all?
No, I think by this time it was very much on board that we were going to get promotion. Now, it's easy to say this now because the season's ended and we have been promoted, but I think that the supporters, when they look back, when they think about the performances and displays in that end of season run, they can see what I'm saying. If you're going to get promotion, it's better doing it via the playoffs if you do it. If you don't get it, there's 3 other clubs where it's terrible. But the one club that gets promotion via the playoffs, it's better almost than what Sunderland did. Now, it's not in terms of but I mean, did Sunderland get a day at Wembley? I mean, Sunderland, I believe, got a trophy and they got medals. I think for the very first time the runners-up Bradford got medals. But up until now, I don't think they've been getting any. But the team that goes to the playoff gets a day at Wembley. The supporters get the day at Wembley. You get a trophy, you get your medals, you go up the things, you have a fantastic day. So for me, the thing about the playoffs would be this. I think they're great, providing that you win them. They scored goals that were excellent goals. I mean, you have to take a chance, like Nicky took his, but he was in that position deliberately, so he wasn't in that position by chance. That was his area, in case anybody got a flick on. The ball came out, it came across, it didn't actually come, so he could come and head it, and he improvised, and there was the goal. And the other goal, in terms of what we're good at, you know, I know that Bolton were throwing themselves forward and were short of numbers, but the one thing that this side is, we don't build it at, but they're good at breaking up people. It was a fantastic day. I mean, we averaged about 11,500 people last season. That includes our away support. So you could say we're probably averaging about 9,000. If you stand sort of below, just back off the halfway line, and you look at Wembley, as I was fortunate to look at it that day, and see 38,000 people of red and yellow, and the joy and the excitement. You see, when you think that you've played a part in helping to create that, there aren't words to describe how you feel. And I think what I did say at the time, those 38,000 people just looked as if they were in heaven. I'd said to the players, when you get to Wembley and you win that game on May the 31st, you will experience things that you've never experienced in your life, and some of you will cry. And that was it. Tears myself. It's a great day.
In 1983, they wrote a book about the rise of Watford called A Tale of the Unexpected. This was surely a tale of the unbelievable.
Your blood like winter freezes just like ice, and there's a cold and lonely light that shines from you. You wind up like the wreck you hide behind that man.